All right, let's dive right into this. President Bola Tinubu has just given the green light for a major administrative maneuver, the immediate deployment of 4 newly appointed Federal Permanent Secretaries. Now, this isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill staffing update. This is a highly calculated move designed to immediately reshape federal governance and, crucially, drastically improve service delivery across some of the most vital sectors in the country. We're seeing a really strong pivot here toward actual execution and efficiency right at the top of the civil service.
So you see a headline about permanent secretaries, and you're probably thinking, okay, but how does a high-level federal reshuffle actually impact my daily life? It's a really fair question. I mean, we so often see these bureaucratic changes as just, paper shuffling in the Capitol. But here's the reality. These permanent secretaries, they're essentially the ultimate operational managers of the government. Think about it like a giant pipeline. When there's a bottleneck up at the federal level, that blockage trickles all the way down to the local public services that you and I rely on every single day, whether we're talking about labor disputes or broad economic initiatives. So fixing things at the top is literally the first step to unclogging the services you experience locally.
To really grasp the why behind this reshuffle, we've got to talk about the administration's renewed hope agenda. As you can see defined here, this is the overarching framework driving these changes. According to the official statement from Ino Olutu, the Director of Information and Public Relations, this deployment is perfectly synced with this agenda. Basically, these 4 new appointees are acting as the new engine for this whole initiative. It's about moving way past just announcing policies and getting laser-focused on actually implementing them. If the renewed hope agenda is the roadmap, well, these permanent secretaries are the drivers. Their main job? Unblocking government service delivery and making sure the wheels actually turn. And you can really see the seriousness of this in the direct mandate from DDS to Walton Jack. She's the head of the civil service of the Federation. She congratulated the new appointees, sure, but she immediately laid down the law regarding expectations, professionalism, accountability, and result-oriented leadership. And it's super important to note that these 4 officials didn't just casually walk into these roles. No way. They had to survive a highly competitive selection process to get here. The government made it crystal clear that these folks were chosen specifically to bring a massive wealth of experience, expertise, and fresh innovation to help hit the nation's developmental goals.
Okay, let's break down this newly deployed operational team. We've got 4 individuals stepping into some seriously massive roles. First up, hailing from Balsa State, we have Bukera Debo Augusta Warrens, who is taking the reins of political and economic affairs, right inside the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Next, representing Ogun State, Dr. Camille Ayinde Shiratire is stepping into a supercritical sector right now. He's been posted to the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. Then, from Enugu State, Nkirika Bella Jones Nebo is taking over the Career Management Office under the head of the Civil Service. And finally, from Kano State, Sani Yargaya Aminu is taking on Special Services in the Cabinet Affairs Office.
Now, what exactly are they tasked with doing? The press release explicitly outlines 3 major operational goals for them. Step 1, optimize performance in their respective departments. Step 2, and this is a huge one, foster inter-ministerial collaboration. Historically, government ministries can get stuck operating in these isolated silos. And honestly, that just kills efficiency. So breaking down those walls is going to allow for way smoother policy implementation across the whole economy. And step 3, drive sustainable development. They're not just being put there to manage the status quo. They are there to actively push the nation's development forward. So what we are really looking at here is a dual impact strategy. On one hand, from an administrative perspective, this is a much-needed internal fix. It's about boosting that bureaucratic efficiency, streamlining the civil service, and literally just making sure different ministries actually talk to each other. But look at it from a developmental perspective, and it becomes this broad economic catalyst. By fixing the internal machinery, the ultimate goal is to drive the kind of sustainable economic development that actually resolves those frustrating local service delivery challenges citizens face every day. It is very much an inside-out approach to governance. Which leads us right to the core takeaway here, bridging the gap. These strategic leadership changes aren't just reshuffling deck chairs. They are specifically designed to shorten that huge distance between a federal policy getting signed in Abuja and a tangible, real-world impact being felt by a citizen in their local community. Whether we're talking about the Ministry of Labor stepping in to handle employment disputes or the Career Management Office making sure we have the absolute best civil servants on the job, the direct benefit to the average citizen is getting a government machine that is responsive, active, and actually capable of executing on its promises.
And that brings us to where the federal civil service stands today. These 4 deployments, they aren't just isolated one-off events. They are a really vital stepping stone in some sweeping, ongoing national reforms. The focus across the board right now is all about improving systemic efficiency, rigidly aligning public administration with the nation's big-picture development priorities, and, honestly, most importantly, ensuring that the people sitting in these leadership chairs actually deliver on their specific mandates. Basically, the era of complacency is exactly what these reforms are actively trying to dismantle.
So the stage is set, the officials are deployed, and the mandates have absolutely been handed down. But as always, the true test lies ahead. Will this new wave of leadership finally bridge that persistent gap between high-level policy creation and tangible, everyday public service for the citizens? We are definitely going to be watching closely to see exactly how these 4 new permanent secretaries execute their highly demanding portfolios. If you found this helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss future updates.